And one more thing, right? About this whole Kenya Moore and, these double standards. It baffles me when I see people online talking about Kenya Moore is getting what she deserves from Mark because of she was all in other people. Like, this is when y'all want to talk about double standards, Portia set her ass on that couch at the reunion and said that Peter was paying his waitresses in penis. She finds a man who dogs her out, who cheats on her while she's pregnant, after she has the baby, and no one says anything. Kenya can make a comment about somebody's marriage, and she gets with the man who dogs her out and treats her like shit, and that's Kenya's payback. That's Kenya's karma. Why is it that that's Kenya's karma for making a comment about somebody's marriage, but Dennis is not Portia's karma for making a comment about somebody's marriage? So if y'all really want to talk about double standards, let's talk about them. Let's talk about how you will turn a blind eye to the fuck shit that Portia does, but no one else can do it. Portia can get her ass on TV and insinuate that her ex-husband, Cordell Stewart, is gay. But when somebody comes out and says that Portia was Cordell's beard, it's a problem. Everybody can make videos about Cordell allegedly sucking dick in the park. But if Kenya Moore says, girl, are you his beard? Or girl, she may be his beard. Oh my God. Oh my God. Girl, y'all crazy. Y'all crazy. Y'all crazy. Y'all say I'm biased. That's fine. I'll be biased. The same way y'all up Portia motherfucking ass, I guess I'll be up Kenya's. At least I'm up a smart bitch ass. Hello? I want us to talk about OG. This is the thing, right? And then I'm about to go because I need to go do laundry. I think this is a problem that I'm having, right? I think there are people out there who just don't want to accept that black people can be colorist. And I don't know why that is. Girl, you can look at black men and look at the women they have on their arms. This is the thing, this is no shade to light-skinned women or yellow bones or red bones. I have friends who are light-skinned. Bitch, y'all seen Brittany? Brittany is one of my closest, dearest friends, and she done been in my videos more than a few times. So this is no shade to, I sound like them white girl. I sound like them white people who say I got a black friend, right? But y'all get what I'm trying to say. Like, this is no shade to light-skinned women. But it's a reason why when you look up and you see these entertainers, girl, more than likely is a light-skinned woman on their arm, right? When you hear these men say, oh, I love black women, but girl, the black women that they really love have hair texture like Alicia Keys, right? They are light-skinned with green eyes. It's a reason why when you see Chris Brown, all of his women look the same. You know? So we're not going to sit here and act like colorism does not exist or like black people can't be colorists, because we can, right? I think that people are trying to dismiss OG's claims of colorism to this thing of, oh, people just think that she's ugly. No. Or OG's just mad because she thinks that OG's just mad because people call her ugly. I don't think that's what it is. Quiet as it's kept, I don't even think that OG thinks she's ugly. I don't think OG ever had a problem. Well, let me take that back. I don't think OG has a problem with her outward appearance. I don't. So That's not. I think that people are like again. I think that people are trying to reduce what is a very serious and very true situation just down to, oh girl, you just mad because people call you ugly. No, she's upset because when you look at this group of women, let me use Drea as an example. I don't want to have this conversation, but we're gonna go ahead and have it. Drea is not the cutest girl, Drea Michelle, at all. We're just gonna put it out there. I have heard people say that Drea looks like a bird. But no one has ever went as far as to call Drea ugly. I don't think Drea necessarily is a cute girl. I'm just gonna go ahead and say it. Drea has a banging body. But Drea's really just not a cute girl to me like that. She has her moments. But again, I've seen people go as far as calling Drea Michelle, or whatever her name is, from Basketball Wives, say that she looks like a bird. But they won't go to that next step of calling her ugly. You can... Yes. Sometimes people can be ugly and they just happen to be dark skinned, right? Sometimes people can be ugly and they just may be light skinned. But I think within this setting, this Basketball Wives setting, for me, it's clear as day what the fuck is going on. Let me just read the definition of colorism. Hold up. We're going to read some, you know what? Let's read some fucking definitions for the slow people in the back. Hold up. Let's read some definitions. Colorism. All right, here we go. Colorism. Prejudice or discrimination against individuals with dark skin tone, typically among people of the same ethnic or racial group. Prejudice or discrimination. Let's read the definition of prejudice. Okay, prejudice. Preconceived opinion that is not based on reason or actual experience. That's what prejudice means. Let's read discrimination. The unjust or prejudicial treatment of different categories of people or things, especially on the grounds of race, age, or sex. Racism, the systemic oppression of a racial group to the social, economic, and political advantage of another. A belief that race is a fundamental determinant of human traits and capacities, and that racial differences produce an inherent superiority of a particular race. Something on my neck. So those are the definitions of racism, colorism, prejudice, discrimination, okay? So when you see someone like OG, who is clearly treated differently, and when you see her do things, prejudice or discrimination against individuals with a dark skin tone, typically among people of the same ethnic or racial group. Preconceived opinion that is not based on a reason or actual experience, prejudice. So you don't want to say they're colorist. Are they prejudiced? Like, I think this goes beyond, oh, they just don't like OG. Because at the end of the day, I don't know how many times, I can only say it in one language because I only know one language. OG has done nothing to these group of girls that would make them or should make them feel as though OG needs to be locked up and put away in a fucking cage. You have Malaysia, who has picked up a table and launched it across a sidewalk. Malaysia got into a fight, I think her first season. Matter of fact, I think it was, because I think that was Miami. Remember, it used to be 2 Basketball Wives. Malaysia got into a fight with Gloria. You know, I get them Go Band sisters confused. Laura. Malaysia got into a fight with Laura. Her first season. Evelyn been knocking bitches upside their head, throwing bottles, hopping on tables. See, this is the part where it's hard for me to understand. And this is where this is why I see a lot of people trying to reduce it down to, OG just mad because they called her ugly. Quiet as this kept, OG ain't even when OG gave an example, the example OG gave on Monday night on Basketball Wives was this to Kristen. Kristen, let me give you an example. I can't remember OG's exact wording, but this is what she said. You have Evelyn. This is how I'm going to say it for the slow people in the back. You have Evelyn, who used to get beat on by her husband, Chad Ochocinco. Evelyn has come out and said that he used to beat on. It was more than a one-time thing. So Evelyn Lozada has come out and said that Chad Ochocinco has beat on her. She was so upset that I said that Ochocinco wanted me. Ochocinco wanted me. She was so confused and so pissed off that she didn't understand how a man that wanted her could want OG. So she got in contact with her abuser, the man who literally popped her upside her head, headbutted her, to try to convince the group and try to embarrass OG with some text messages that Chad Ochocinco manipulated before he sent them to her. You get your black ass in the confessional, Kristen, and says that when OG went and got her phone to try to defend herself, OG's receipts were disturbing, but Evelyn's were hilarious. You have 2 people both reading text messages, but OG is disturbing, but Evelyn's is hilarious. No, Evelyn is disturbing. Because I don't understand how a bitch who done got her ass whooped multiple times by a nigga could then get in contact with him to try to make another woman seem like a liar. And then she ends up looking like a fool. She gets the text messages and girl literally is doing this. Like she's giving a presentation. But OG is disturbing and Evelyn is not. I guarantee y'all, if this was a white woman, just clear as day, a white woman doing this shit, bitch, y'all hoes would be all on the motherfucking TV screen marching and hollering and screaming, talking about racism and colorism. This is the thing, and then I'm going to be done. I think a lot of us have done things, have said things that were hurtful, that were mean, and just were not right. I think that people can change. There are people out there who were probably homophobic to the goddamn core. But over time, they've changed. There are probably people out there who come from racist families who probably woke up one day and realized like, oh my God. And now they probably the head of some Black Lives Matter organization. I don't know, some white person, you know? So things can happen and you can have ignorant ass ways of thinking and fucked up ass ways of thinking, but you can change. And the problem that I'm having with these group of women is, bitch, you don't want to admit that OG experienced colorism because then that will make you the colorist. And instead of just saying, oh my fucking God, I can see exactly what this girl is talking about because we locked the dark-skinned girl in a closet and she ain't did shit to nobody but cuss us out a couple of times. But Malaysia, who's the pretty one, right? who's thrown a table across the sidewalk, she could just sit right here beside us. Evelyn, who's the Puerto Rican who has thrown bottles, and we all know the shit that Evelyn has done. We ain't even got to go down the list. She can just sit right on the stage. Now, one time in basketball history that I can recall, have they ever locked somebody up into a separate room except for OG? And people want to reduce that down to, oh, well, maybe they just don't like her. I think that as much as I love Evelyn, I think we have to call a thing a thing. Like, I like Evelyn. But girl, the truth of the matter is, Evelyn, you are a colorist. Shawnee, you are a colorist. Malaysia, you are a colorist. Kristen, you are a colorist. And just because you're dark skinned does not mean you can't be a colorist. Bitch, I'm gay. And I used to be anti-gay like a motherfucker. So please stop thinking that just because you are a part of a certain group that you can't be that thing. It's the reason why black people call other black people coons. And why we say things like all skin folk ain't kinfolk. It's the reason why we say those things. Because just because you black don't mean that you black. So yes, you can be a dark-skinned woman or a dark-skinned man and still be a fucking colorist. Because you done probably latched on to the shit that's been passed on from generation to generation. You see what I'm saying? I think the best thing to do is to try to recognize your fucked up part in it and try to correct it and become a better person. But it's not going to happen as long as people try to deny what is clear as day on television and try to reduce it down to, oh, people just think OG is ugly. Or she just mad because people think she's ugly. OG don't give a fuck about you thinking that she ugly. Bitch, OG on a motherfucking show with the other bitches. OG got a man. Some of the other bitches don't. You think OG really give a fuck about you calling her ugly? No. OG is telling you, bitch, this is what it is. And instead of listening to OG or instead of going by what you see on television, we're going to pull... Girl, I was about to bring up some other bitches. They ain't even going to do... All right, y'all. I'm about to go... I got to go watch... I got to go wash clothes. I might be going to Dallas this weekend for Pride. Well, they got something going on down there, girl. I might be in the mix with the niggas, girl. All right, I'll talk to y'all later. Bye.